We don't need no investigations. We don't need no impeachment threats. No dark corruption in the DNC. Can't be Trump with your policies. Hey, Dems, leave POTUS alone. All in all, you're just another crook in D.C. All in all, you're just another crook in D.C. Yeah, that's my song that goes out to the funky, nasty, dirty, crooked, stinking, bloated, disgusting, varicose veins having, smelling like nothing more than a sewer, with legs walking around dirty and nasty like a muskrat, DNC and their policies and them trying to impeach the president. Now, I've been listening to the news and all you hear is impeachment, impeachment. That's right, impeachment, because we can't beat them, so we're going to impeach them. That's what we're going to do. And they feel that they have a reasonable argument. Now, I don't see how that's possible. I like to go through some things that you have to consider. You have to look at yourself and say, is this a logical reason to impeach the president? Now, I've heard all of the pundits on TV that supports this nonsense. Their argument is that President Trump, somebody's riding around with a gorilla in the back of their trunk trying to get out. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know how you can hear. I bet you that man's hearing is horrible right about now. But anyway, getting back to the matter at hand. You have to go through a series of logic to conclude whether the president should be impeached. Now, what they're trying to do is spin it. They're trying to put a little extra spice on the whole phone call. See, they're trying to make it appear that he inferred that the president of Ukraine has to do something so that he can release the funds or the support that they was going to give Ukraine. But first of all, the president of Ukraine didn't know anything about the president holding back any of the equipment or the funding. None of that was brought up in the conversation. Not only that, the president of Ukraine never found out that the president was looking at withholding that stuff anyway until later. He's like, oh, I didn't even weigh in during that conversation. You would have had to have brought something up and hinted around to, if you don't do this, I won't do that. But here's something else the Democrats are overlooking, which is context. Okay, see, they take everything out of context. They don't like it in context. So what happened now? President Trump's on the phone talking about what? Corruption, the irony, especially dealing with the DNC and all of their corrupt dealings. But he's talking about corruption, and he brings up something that took place in 2016. He's not even talking about the future. No, he's talking about in the past. In the past, your country has allowed lots of corruption. Could you do me a favor? Look into this company, for one, that was corrupt. Two, the server in the whole beginning of this Russia investigation thing. And then he goes on to mention, oh yeah, and a lot of people are wondering about this Joe Biden situation that took place. Now, he never said anything about, this is my political opponent. He never said anything about, hey, help me out in my future election, which the DNC and all of their pundits on the tube are trying to suggest that he was trying to solicit help from Ukraine and the president of Ukraine to help him interfere in the upcoming election. That never came up. I didn't get that when I was listening to the conversation. I heard that since your country has a history of corruption, I would like to know something about these incidents that took place surrounding potential corruption. Okay? Now, if that involved Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, so be it. Are they now given a pass? Are they above the laws? The Democrats always say nobody's above the law, even the president of the United States. Well, if he can't ask about corruption that smells real funny around Joe Biden, then that would put Joe Biden above the law. But not only that, he never asked for oppositional research. He didn't say, hey, go dig up some stuff about Joseph. No, Joseph provided the information by getting on TV, running around talking about what he did to the Ukrainian president by telling them, hey, shut all this down. And if you don't, you're not getting the money from the United States, okay? So that's what really happened, which if I'm just a smart person, I would be asking some questions about that too, okay? Because the DNC and Nancy and all of them, they suggest that the president did what Joe Biden actually did. Hey, if you don't go dig up dirt on my opponent, my oppositional, my opponent, and dig up some oppositional research on them, then we're not going to give you the funds. That was never discussed. No player paid. They ended up getting their funds, okay? And they never gave the president anything to get those funds. That's what's interesting about it. Joe Biden, yeah, they got the funds, but they gave Joe Biden something, which was the termination of the prosecutor that was looking into his son. So that right there is pay for play, but they conveniently overlooked that for some reason. I don't understand how the Democrats can just project evil and corruption on the president without looking at what Joseph Biden did. So you got to look at it from a practical, logical standpoint. President never said anything about an election, about his political opponent. He never said, if you don't do this, you're getting nothing. None of that. The context was in the context of corruption in your country. Joe Biden provided the statement on national TV that prompted the question, which is a relevant question, about Joe Biden and Hunter Biden's dealings in the Ukraine. Now, what is wrong with that? I don't understand. Considering that Joseph Biden and Hunter was running around China and Ukraine making deals. Hunter making great deals. He's coming out on top. Why are you riding on taxpayers' dollars to go and do business in other countries? Were you a part of Congress? I don't understand. He shouldn't have been on there doing business. That's what I'm saying. So you go over there and you become a board member of a corrupt company in Ukraine, and nobody's supposed to question that. And Joe sounds real incompetent if he didn't know anything about it, talking about, I never asked about. Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. You know, Joe. You know. Anyway, so that's my thought. I just want the American public to look at this without all the fluff, okay? Without all of the spin that they're trying to put on it, the way they're trying to just stretch it and contort it to make it seem like it was something that it wasn't, and it's an impeachable offense, And then you got MSNBC tried to run interference. President was talking, and he was about to bring up the Joe and Hunter Biden situation, and they cut in. Oh, we're going to have to cut in right here. None of this is what the president's talking about has been confirmed. Well, what gives you the right? Let him say what he wants. Then afterwards, if you don't agree, you can, but you don't want your audience to even hear the president and what he had to say. I don't understand that. How have you ever seen the media not want to hear what the president had to say, or just jump in and say, well, you know what? I guess we have done our investigative duty to disprove what the president is saying. Yeah, I guess we're the ones that did an investigation on Hunter and Joe Biden, and we've come to a conclusion. Is that what they're saying? Because if they haven't, then they need to shut their yaps and let the president talk. But we already know what they're about. Anyway, don't forget, check me out every Wednesday night, live 7:30 on my YouTube channel and also on my radio blog talk show. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe. Make sure you're still receiving notifications, because they will unsubscribe you and they will click your notification button. So check on that. Check out Extreme Tees, my sponsor. If you like something, click on it. You get a 20% discount by putting Kevin in the promo code. And then finally, if you want to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, feel free. Click the link down below. I got two of them, Cash App and the other one, PayPal. Got those. And you're free to do that if so. And also find me on Facebook and follow me on the Twitter. God bless you. See you next time in Kevin's Corner. We don't need no corrupt politicians.